like a rotational clean. I'm leaning back, and as I lean back, there's tension that's developed in the lats. That stretch is further exaggerated when I sit into a squat. And then from the Hello everybody. So I plan on going to the gym, but before I go to the gym, I want to do some things that I can't do at the gym, and that's specifically my steel mace and steel club stuff. I believe in training the steel club and steel mace movement every day or almost every day. I think it helps a lot with shoulder mobility and strength with like the rotator cuff and stuff like that, and really helps keep the posture more upright. So yeah, the way I'm doing that is I'm going to start off with heavy club shield casts for 10 each side, then move into the steel mace and do 10 each side of 360s, then do kettlebell halos, 10 each side, do that for 5 sets. So here's one set of that using the 35-pound steel club for the shield casts. After the steel club, it's a 35-pound club, 15-pound mace for the 360s. Doing single or double singles with this for 10 each side. So that was 10 360 or 10 double single 360s, then kettlebell halos for 10 each side. Oof. Oh. So yeah, this is what I'm starting off with. I'm going to do 5 sets of this tricep, then head to the gym after. But just to kind of expand on a point I was making earlier, like I think a lot of daily life these days forces us to stay slouched over, or even if it's not forced, we end up staying that way. So like while driving, you're probably, you're standing with, or you're sitting with, first of all you're sitting and then you're holding the steering wheel, which keeps you a little bent over. If you're looking at your phone, you're a little bent over. If you're working on a screen, you're a little bent over. So I think it's good to have a movement daily that forces you to keep an open chest, especially with a resistance element involved. And for that reason, I think doing some amount of steel mace or even kettlebell halos and stuff is good. So yeah, I wanted to start off with that today before I head to the gym. So yeah, let's see what happens at the gym. So at the gym now, and if you guys have been watching since the gym days, you guys probably know that the equipment that I probably used the most at the gym was the sled, and so I had to use the sled first thing back. So starting off with reverse sled drags and sled push. This is my 5th set. I kept going up in weight each set of this exercise or set of exercises. So starting off with just the sled and then 4 plates, so this is my 5th set. Sled push and sled reverse drag is a really great exercise for the legs. You get to add a lot of load without the risk of a squat or something like that. So in a squat, if you go too heavy, there's a risk of, or more of a risk of hurting yourself if you don't do it with right form and stuff. The worst thing that can happen with a sled is it doesn't move. In any case, for the second movement, doing clean to press with the dumbbell, going for 8 each side. It's like a rotational clean. Going for 8 each side. Saw this movement being done by Nadi Aguiar, is what I think his name is, from Functional Patterns, and I thought it looked interesting, so I wanted to try it out today. Oh. The dumbbell is another piece of equipment that I don't have access to at home, since I only have kettlebells, maces, and clubs. In any case, This is what I was doing. This is my 5th set, which is my last. On to the next set of movements. So for the next set of movements, the first part is going to be different, as in the first part of the sled. So before I was doing a reverse sled drag. Instead, now I'm going to do sled rows. Sled push is going to remain the same. And then I'm going to finish off with kettlebell snatches. Another thing, okay, let me just do the rows. So with the rows, I'm leaning back. And as I lean back, there's tension that's developed in the lats. That stretch is further exaggerated when I sit into a squat. And then from that stretch position, I just try to contract explosively. Oh, pushing back. And then finishing off with 8 snatches with the 28 kilogram kettlebell, which is 62 pounds. Whew. To be honest, kind of miss the sled exhaustion feeling. In any case, let's finish this. Heart rate is at like 165. Whoa, that was exhausting. In any case, that was my 3rd set. I'm going to do one more. What I was saying earlier was, or what I was trying to say earlier was, any kind of sled movement recruits the whole body as a unit, which most full body movements, which are heart rate higher than any quote-unquote isolation movement. And as a result, it's a really effective tool to get like cardiovascular training, but by putting a lot of load at the same time. So you get this feeling of, like, especially with the snatches and stuff, doing heavy weight while your like heart rate is like super high, and then like keep going. And in my opinion, at least, it translates pretty well. Like, not exactly well into grappling, but it translates pretty well. So when I started jiu-jitsu, the first couple of weeks, it took me a while to like get adapted, but like I think the reason I was able to get adapted to the cardio of jiu-jitsu pretty well is because I do this style of circuit training where despite the fact that my heart rate's super high, I'm still moving heavy weight. And I think that concept translates pretty well uh, to jiu-jitsu and stuff like that. And in any case, that's just my opinion. I'm going to do one more set. Let's see what happens next. Probably going to move away from the sled. So for the final movement, before I head to the sauna, doing something I don't get to do often, which is dumbbell presses. So doing alternate dumbbell presses, flats for chest. Not supersetting it with anything. Using 65 pounds. Going to do this for 3 to 5 sets, head to the sauna, and then probably a posing session after. So in the yoga room where I usually used to do my posing sessions, and after a really long time. So yeah, here goes. This is post sauna. Spent 20 minutes in the sauna. Post workout, did some mobility stuff in the sauna, and yeah, here's what everything looks like. I'm curious to see how, if any differences exist from the time I started doing my steel mace stuff. I mean, I was doing the steel mace quite a bit, even when I was going to the gym, but I feel like I've been doing it a lot more exclusively recently. Not bad. So yeah, I actually think I look pretty decent. I don't know. It's hard to say if too much has changed since doing just the outdoor workouts. But yeah, not looking too shabby. Pretty good definition, pretty good size. Yeah, in any case, actually let me just do one more, this full back pose. Okay, so yeah, probably going to be in the gym more frequently, given that the weather is cooling down. That being said, I still want to force myself to work out in the cold at least a couple of times in the week. Yeah, so yeah, that's all for today's video. Can't really think of much to say. Yeah, back in the gym. That's all for today's video. Oh, it's Canadian Thanksgiving weekend, so I don't know if I'm going to do anything too special. It's on Monday, right? Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do anything too special, but additional day off. Yeah, in any case, that's all for today's video. See you all tomorrow.